Ranking the best playbooks in Madden 23. We're back here with a new video. Today what we got is every single offensive playbook you could run in Madden 23 Ultimate Team, and we're going to go ahead and rank all these. Now before I do go ahead and jump into the first playbook, I do want to go ahead and shout out the comment of the day. Now we just loaded up a base tier list. I'm going to be honest though, I'm going to get rid of the F tier. I don't think there's any like really bad unusable playbooks in the game. Really depends on your playstyle, and I think you can make every single one work. So the first one we got right here is the John Madden alternate AFC playbook. This one doesn't really have anything in shotgun, and I've tried to use the under center a lot in this. I personally could not get anything to work in this playbook. I think this is one of the worst ones in the game. I am not really too high on the AFC version of the playbook. But right after that, we have the NFC. The NFC John Madden playbook is going to go ahead and be our first S tier one. So I think this is really slept on. It's really similar to like some other playbooks we'll cover later, like Lions. The main appeal of this playbook is the fact that you get a really good trips tight end, you get a really good gun tight. Then you can also get stack Y flex that has the fade out. That's a really good man beater as well. So you have a really good audible around. I think this playbook is actually like criminally underrated. You don't really see a lot of people run it, but I do think it's really in the meta. After that, we have run and gun. I think the main appeal of this playbook is tight flex to trips tight end, and the tight flex is good. The trips tight end is a little bit more unique. You have a speed option, you have read options in this trips tight end as well. I'm thinking B tier. I think it's a really solid playbook though. I will say the gun doubles is pretty good as well, and also it's the only playbook in the game with the 4 verts and the pistol bunch tight end. That's actually a pretty good zone beater, so I could potentially see this higher. And again, I think it's a slightly slept on playbook, but it is pretty good. Now we have run and shoot. Run and shoot is a really cool playbook. I think it's fun to run, but the overall effectiveness I don't really think is that good. Like it has some really good spread formations. I don't really think spread is that good this year. I think there's some good spread sets, but it's also the only one with circle, I believe, in the game, the play circle and spread. I am not too high on it though. I'm gonna go ahead again, have it in the D tier. After this, we have the run heavy playbook slash the power run playbook. I like it. I like the gun YF trio weak. I like the bunch tight end as well. I think it's a pretty solid playbook. It's gonna go ahead once again, go B tier for me. I think it's overall pretty solid. Right after that, we have West Coast. So West Coast really has an argument that it has the best bunch in the game, that you could run every single play for sure. I just think the like meta of playbooks is really having stuff you can audible around to. I'm not really a big fan of the audible around, and for me that's going to be the reason why it's not S tier. I think of it more as like maybe even the best playbook in A, because the bunch is really good, don't get me wrong, but I really just don't like the audible around. You can for sure make this work and run it like an S tier playbook, and it might even move up, but I just really don't like the audible around in this playbook. Right after this, we have the run balanced. Again, I'm not really a fan of anything in the shotgun. I don't really think you can do anything that great in the shotgun. I think once again, I'm gonna have this in the D tier. And right after that, we get the pass balance slash spread playbook. This one is also going S tier for me. You can do so much in this playbook. You have great runs, you have great audible rounds. There's just so much. The reason why people I think are lower on this playbook as well, there's just so much in it. It's hard to become like a master of the playbook. Like there's just so many good shotgun formations. You really have to spend time like learning like, hey, this run's good versus this defense, this run's good versus this defense. But just the creativity you can get with this offense, I think it's very deserving of S tier. Right here, you get the balanced offense, and I like this playbook. It has a really unique A slot with the QB power that I really like. I think this is like, I don't think it's as good as run heavy or running gun. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the C tier. I think it's overall just again pretty solid playbook that you could make work. It's just again, I think the audible around a little bit lacking, and it's not like A slot is like a meta formation like bunch in my opinion. But again, I really do like that A slot. I think you can make that work, do some really unique things out of that. And now we're getting into the real NFL teams, right? So the first one we got right here is 49ers. 49ers and Dolphins pretty much have the exact same playbook, so I'm gonna go ahead and rank them right by each other. I don't quite think it's like D tier, like completely like I would say like unusable, but I'm not high on it. I'm gonna have both of these in the C tier. They're okay, and I kind of like balance more than them. They have some good under center stuff, and I would say 49ers is a little bit better because I don't believe the Dolphins has the Debo package. But yeah, I'm just really not too high on this playbook. The Bears playbook, in my opinion, does not offer you anything unique, and for that reason, like I feel like if you want to run the Bears, there's just better playbooks for this, and I'm gonna go ahead and have it in the D tier. Again, I'm not really too high on this playbook. I don't think it really offers you anything like unique. Next up, we have the Bengals. I think this is a really slept on playbook once again. So I really like the bunch halfback strong. That is really good. It's the only one without really unique RPO that's super good. Has a really good tight slots, also has a pretty good bunch, really good audible around. I think it's overall really good. I'm gonna go ahead again, have it in the A tier. I think again, this playbook is really slept on. You don't see a lot of people run it, but I think it's really usable. Right after that, we have the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Buffalo Bills playbook is not like, it's good, like it is really good. You have a good bunch with like deep corner. You have trips tight end. You have U trips as well. It's called gun Y off X close, which again, pretty much U trips has some of the same plays. I just think the audible around is really, really good. And you can potentially audible to like the RPO glitch. It's not really a glitch, but if you're running man coverage, it's going to be wide open every time. I think the Bills playbook is really, really runnable as well. I really enjoyed using it when I did. Now we have the Broncos. The Broncos playbook is very similar to the Packers. So I'm gonna go ahead and rank them at the same time. So what's the difference? The Broncos have a read option in their bunch. The Packers have corner strike. That's really the main difference. Also, the Packers have Packer trips. I think the Packers playbook should be in the A tier. Again, I think it's really, really good, really, really runnable, has a good bunch, has a good trips tight end offset as well. I think the Broncos are a tier lower, but they're again like right here. Like I could definitely see them A, but I just think if you want to run the Broncos playbook, I think the Packers is slightly better. The Browns is interesting because like it has a good bunch, it has a good trips tight end. It's just like playbooks we're going to cover have better, or pretty much like the same bunch, and also a better trips tight end or something like that. So the Browns, I think, is a very like mid playbook. I think they're better than like the Niners and the Dolphins though, because they have some really runnable formations, but I think they're a lot worse than the Broncos. I'm gonna go ahead half of them like top in the C. Again, like has a pretty good trips tight end, has a pretty good bunch as well. It's just I think there's playbooks that offer you a little bit more. And right after that, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks. So the Bucks offense, I think, I've said it a lot, but I think this is one of the most underrated in the entire game. I think the Bucks are deserving of A tier. Again, it has a really good audible around. Y trips weak is good. You have bunch halfback strong, that's good. You have stack Y flex, one of two offensive or actually technically three if we include NFC, that has the stack Y flex fade out. Just overall, this audible around I think is really, really unique. And I think it's really deserving of A tier. I kind of want to put it like top end of A. Like I think it's really, really, I won't put it above West Coast, but I do think like top end of A. Right after this, we have the Cardinals. The Cardinals is a really, really good playbook. Cluster, super unique offense that you can really make work. I think Cluster is super, super good. It's essentially like a bunch set that you would run like trips. Screw it, I'm putting it A. I love Cluster. I think Cluster is a ton of fun. I think it's really, really usable against the meta as well. I'm gonna have it A tier. Now, right after this, we have the Chargers playbook. The Chargers and the Saints are pretty much the same playbook. In my opinion, the main difference is the Saints getting stack Y flex, the Chargers don't. And that's actually gonna really hurt the Chargers. Like the Chargers have a great tight offset tight end. I don't wanna flood the A tier, but like this is like an A tier playbook. It's just the Saints are just an upgraded version. The Saints are probably the best playbook in the game for offense. And it's just, again, like the Chargers are just a worse version of the Saints. I mean, it's runnable, but like, what's the point of running the Chargers when you have the Saints playbook? I really don't understand it. So now we have the Chiefs. The Chiefs is a good off-meta playbook. You have things like gun deuce close, the RPO glitch, that's not really a glitch. You have a good 0-1 trap in that. You have a good gun deuce close. You have a good single back deuce close. You have a really unique bunch tight end that you can audible around to some like unique like Trey Y flex strong sets. Unique playbook, but overall, I don't think it's that effective. I can maybe put it B tier, and oh man, that on the same tier as the Broncos doesn't even really feel right, I'll be honest. I think the Broncos should probably go up. I think comparable to the Packers. So the Colts and the Eagles, again, very, very similar. This is like the meta playbook in the game. There's no doubt about it. Colts is for sure S tier. Colts is S tier, and I think like in MCS, when you're watching competitive games, a lot of times you either see Saints or Colts. The Colts bunch and the Eagles bunch, super, super similar. There's one difference though. The Colts has the bunch trail, really great play versus man, really good passing play. The Eagles have a read option. So like the Eagles bunch is more like if you want to run a little bit more. The Colts is if you're like strictly passing. I think Eagles is still deserving of S tier. I think Eagles is one of the best playbooks in the game as well. Now we have Commanders, pretty similar to what I just said, like the audible from bunch to tight. Only bunch in the game with a really good clear out as well that can beat cover 3. Also good for some man as well. I think Washington is also deserving of S. I think it's, I would put it like right around there. Now we have the Cowboys. The Cowboys is a pretty unique playbook, and I don't think it's bad. I'm going to also have Cowboys like top into B. I could potentially see them A. Their tight Y off is really good and really unique. That's what really makes the playbook. Has some really good runs as well. Like it's not that I don't like it. It's a good playbook, but I don't quite think it's like great. And now we have Falcons. Falcons is one of my personal favorites. I don't think it's like top end in the game, but it's the only one in the game that has like, I would say, a full gun doubles halfback week. And for that reason, I'm going to put a B tier once again. You can audible around to like deep corner and bunch as well. I kind of think it's like a slightly worse version of like the Packers and also the Broncos. Like I like the playbook. It was a ton of fun to use, but I just think it's overall like good, but not really great. Now we have the Giants. I should have said this with the Bills. The Giants and the Bills playbook are essentially carbon copies of each other, so they're going to go right next to each other. Now we have the Jags. The Jags is like such a worse version of the spread playbook. It's not even funny. I'm going to put the Jags playbook F tier because again, I feel like there's no reason to run it. It just like really doesn't offer you anything unique. Like if you want to run Jags, just run the pass balance or spread playbook. Now we have the Jets. The Jets is the best under center running playbook in the game, and it also gives you a really good split close. The Jets is super slept on. The Jets is going A tier for me. I think this playbook is really unique. I could see more of an argument for it being S than I could see it being any lower. If you want to tote the rock, the Jets is your playbook. The Lions and the NFC alt are very, very similar. Again, I just like NFC alt a little bit better because you can audible to something like stack Y flex with the fade out. But at the same time, Lions has bunch tight end. This playbook doesn't. Lions has some of the best formations in the game, and it is a really, really stacked playbook. The Panthers playbook is tough because it's the only one with double post and Y curl. I really like Y curl. I do. It was way better last year. I'm going to have it A tier because I think like just like the Colts and Eagles bunch just does what the Panthers bunch does, just a little bit better. And with that being said, I'm going to move West Coast up into S because it is one of the best bunches in the game, and it is something you can run every single play. I think that bunch by itself is deserving of S tier. Now we have the Patriots that got like halfway cut out, and the Raiders, which are again essentially the same playbook. The difference is the Raiders has a lot better bunch. Like it has Y curl and it also has bunch trail. Same U trip, same trips tight end. That's really the reason why you would be in the playbook. Same tight slots as well. I think Raiders should be S. And I think Raiders is up here. I think U-Trips is really, really good. A lot of people got out of it. I think it slept on playbook. And I would have Patriots like top end of A. It's just, again, like, I just like the Raiders more than the Patriots. If you want to run Patriots, just run Raiders because Raiders playbook is literally just better Patriots in my opinion. Now we have the Rams. The Rams and the Vikings are actually exact carbon copies of each other. Same exact playbook. You get bunch X nasty. You get a lot of good tight sets. I'm going to go ahead and put them S tier. I'm going to do it. I think both these playbooks are super, super runnable. Has great tight audibles that you can audible around to. Has a really good bunch as well. Has bunch X nasty. Two really, really good slept on playbooks in my opinion. Ravens has the best run in the game in my opinion, QB wrap. Only playbook in the game with it. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna put Ravens S tier as well. And the whole reason for that is QB wrap. If you don't run QB wrap in this playbook, it's like literally bottom tier, but QB wrap makes this playbook super, super good. Now we have Seahawks. Seahawks, I'm also gonna put D tier. I just feel like it really doesn't offer you anything like unique at all. If you want to run Seahawks, there's just better playbooks for you. Now after that, we have Steelers. I think Steelers is also deserving of S tier. I think Steelers is an awesome playbook. Really slept on tight doubles first off. Great bunch and also trio. You can run like trips tight end, so you can audible to bunch to trips to also the tight doubles. You have three really good formations you can audible to, and also you can go to pistol double stack that has a really good four verts that's good for a shaded down man. I love me some of the Steelers playbook. Now we got the Texans. The Texans has probably the best trips tight end offset in the game. Really good runs, kind of unique as well. I think it's C tier, and I would put it like top into C because it's a little bit more unique. I just don't really think it's that great in the game. And now we have the Titans. The Titans, while they do have some really good plays, some really good formations, I'm again going to go ahead and have them in the C tier because of the fact that I don't really think they offer you anything unique. Like if you want to run Titans, just there's better playbooks than Titans to run. But yeah, y'all, this was my thoughts on playbooks in Madden 23. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know what playbook you're rocking. I know we have a lot of playbooks in S tier, but I think these, like, it's hard for me to want to put any of these playbooks lower. I think they're all super good, all super runnable. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? If you did enjoy this video though, you enjoy content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, if you want to see me use some of these playbooks live, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with a follow. We've been grinding the streams over there, so I greatly appreciate that. Now, if you don't feel like heading over to Twitch, you guys want another video to watch, check this one out right here. I rank the best defensive tackles in Madden 23.